Hey guys, Project Green over here with another video, and this time I'm going to show you a neat trick to use with this module over here, which is the HC-05. But I can also now turn it on with my cell phone because it is connected to the HC-05. And I'm going to press start and it turns on. And then if I can either press start over here again and it'll turn off on the cell phone because the commands are being sent via Bluetooth. As you see, it turned off. And I can also switch it on through the object detector sensor and switch it off via Bluetooth through my cell phone through the command. As you can see that it shut off. I'm going to show you how to use the soft serial library of the Arduino IDE. You can download it if you don't have it. Now, in order to do that, you have to include that second serial communicator, in this case, the HC-05 Bluetooth module. This works with any Bluetooth module. And then you have to connect the pins of receive and transmit, the communication pins. You have to connect them to two different digital pins. The communication on this device is made on a 3.3, it even says so on the module back here, at a 3.3 level. But the Arduino digital output will be at 5 volts. So you need a voltage divider for the receiver pin of the module, which I already have over here. And I already have a video explaining how it's made. Now, after you've connected those pins and you've made your voltage divider, I have a video on that. Once again, check out my channel to find it. Or you can look for it with the title, which is Making a Voltage Divider for my HC-05 and XB module. So having said that, let me show you how to use the software serial library on your Arduino projects. So this is a sketch where I use the software serial library. I won't be going much into the detail of how the lamp works because I already have a video on that made. So I will be explaining, like I said, how the serial software library works. Now all you have to do is include the serial software library, as you see over here. And then you have to store the values, the digital pins of your module onto two variables. Now you keep in mind that the RX pin, the receiver pin over here, corresponds to the receiver of your Arduino, or in other ways, your voltage divider has to be on the TX pin because the TX pin of the Arduino corresponds to the RX pin on the module because the Arduino transmits and the module receives. And where the Arduino receives, the module is transmitting. So having said that, then you create the software, you create the channel, maybe you can call it like that. You create the object, I'm sorry. This line is where you create the object. You write software serial, you write the name of the object that you're using for the serial communication, and you write down the two pins, the RX pin first and the TX pin second. And then over here in the setup function, you initiate, just like you initiate the serial communication on your Arduino sketches communication, you do the same for the Bluetooth communication, writing down the same code. Now keep in mind that the baud rates must correspond to the same number, or communication will fail. So then all you have to do is communicate. If you want to write something onto your cell phone screen, you use just the same print function as you use for the serial command. Now I won't be showing you a screen print of any communication, because as of this time my HC-05 module is kind of burned. It cannot transmit, but it can receive. What was good enough to make this video. But I have other videos showing messages, including in my Arduino Terray. So to retrieve the message that you write on your cell phone, you use this process over here. And this process is to receive only one character. You must use a different process to receive a string or words. But to receive a character, this is the method you must use. And then that method stores the value that you send onto this variable, to the variable data. Now then, all you do is act accordingly to what you want the process to do. In my case, I simply use the same process as I do with the toggle function. So when I toggle the button, as you saw in a previous video, with the object detector, all I do in its respective function is I turn the object detected variable to 1, which means that the button was pressed and the sketch will act accordingly, toggling between one situation or the other, if it's either displaying the colors of the lamp on or off. And so I do the same with the data received. The data received from the command that I sent, which is if it is Z, here you go. If it is Z, I turn the HC-05 variable on, which is the analogous situation which is happening on the sketch previously to toggling the button. And then what will happen is that in the corresponding for loops, all I have to do is add that condition. So until now, all I had was that if the object was detected by the sensor and the system was running, or it will, and if the system was not running, this statement would turn the automatic function on, and vice versa. If the object was detected on the sensor and if the program was running, then the if block would turn it off. And so all I did was now add the second condition. So if either the object detector sensor is triggered, or if the button, the start button on the Bluetooth serial monitor is pressed, then the rest will act accordingly. And so this way I have now two toggle buttons for the same project. I can either physically turn on the lamp by moving my hand in front of the object detector, or I can simply press the button Z. And this is a great example of how to use and how easy it is to use the software serial library to include two serial communication channels in the same project. So as you can see, the software serial library is a great tool to add to your Arduino projects in case you have a Bluetooth connection. It allows you a much more control over your projects, and it allows a lot more data communication. For example, in the future, if I have the chance, I would like to add the Bluetooth module, a Bluetooth module to my platform, but I have to get one. My XB is connected to my robot, and it is on a shield, and it's not really, and it's on Arduino Uno. The Arduino Uno is not enough to take this project, so I have to get one. And but until then, maybe there's other things that I can come up with. And I hope that this is actually a very nice tool and very easy to use, very practical. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on our next project.